Money FM 89.3. Best of Friday Night Live. Friday night at the movies.
What makes a great comedy? That's what we'll be talking about tonight, because Naz has recently seen The Naked Gun. He's about to tell us all about it. Before that, James has written in to say, Mr. Bean is my all-time favourite comedy. That's very relevant, James, to what I'm about to talk about. Another good one from, I think it's Gal, says, God Must Be Crazy. That's a good comedy as well. WhatsApp your favourite comedy to us, 88550893. Why are we talking about comedies? Because I checked before we went on air. The Naked Gun has an 87% critic score, positive critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Very solid. And a solid 7 out of 10 IMDb rating. I mean, that's high for a comedy. That's pretty high across the board. Exactly. And most importantly, on a $42 million budget, it's almost up to $80 million at the box office. Almost doubled its budget, which is good for a comedy in this current climate. Is very, very impressive indeed. You've seen it. What did you make of it?
First and foremost, I have to say, listening to the iconic soundtrack of The Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen.
Of course.
He always had the soundtrack like the
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so I love that about the movie. And it's really iconic because that is the sound of the Naked Gun trilogy, right? And the fun thing about this movie is it is not different. It did not differ at all from the original trilogy. In fact, it maintained...
In terms of its tone and style.
Slapstick. The way it delivered. It's really... I think the right word is spoof. Is that the word? Spoof comedy? Yeah. So it was extremely well done for a movie, a comedy movie that came out, that tried to replicate the success of the 80s trilogy. But what stood out to me was how, they tried not to make it too woke, for the lack of a better word.
Yep.
It was really well thought of. Obviously, you can't replicate Leslie Nielsen's iconic timing, and even the fact that there was a lot of moments where I think they could be improved on. But one thing that I'm disappointed in is there isn't that much jokes about O.J. Simpson. Because
do you want jokes about O.J. Simpson?
So here's the thing. Nordberg's character was the so-called the fool.
Nordberg.
Nordberg. I nearly call him Norbit. Norbit is Eddie Murphy.
That's Eddie Murphy.
Nordberg.
Yeah.
He was the fool of the trilogy. So this movie lacked the fool, and they made it out to be, more of a Liam Neeson centric. So they just made him the focus. Whereas in the original trilogy, we get to see different characters try to, make this whole chaotic mess into an even bigger one. So that's what I thought of this movie, and I think they did really well to show Liam Neeson's humorous side. I mean, the man has always been in serious movies. Taken 3, whatever the movie, the one where he played Zeus, I think it was Clash and Wrath of the Titans. Yeah, exactly. So to see Liam Neeson make a comeback in a humorous film, that was good. And Pam Anderson. Pam Anderson. Now, she was perfect. And not because of how good she looks at her current age, but also in terms of replicating what, I think Mrs. Presley, right?
Priscilla
Presley, that's right. How Priscilla used to act, that, demure, that very...
The femme fatale.
Yeah, femme fatale, yes. Yeah. So she replicated it, but did not oversell it. So you can kind of tell that obviously she wanted to make her character unique, but at the same time, she also wanted to pay homage to the original Priscilla Presley.
Brilliantly put, Naz. Do you guys agree, disagree? What's your favourite comedy? WhatsApp 88550893. Now let's talk about why The Naked Gun is actually a bit of a miracle, because I did some reading. Comedies just do not play anymore at the box office.
Yes.
For the following reasons. In fact, I even checked when I was growing up, and as recently as about 10, 12 years ago, you could have good box office success with a comedy. You go back to the early days, Home Alone, Bruce Almighty, anything with Jim Carrey.
The Hot Chick.
Yeah, exactly. And the more recent ones, the last great in terms of box office success was The Hangover. But The Hangover is 15 years old now. Yeah, the first Hangover I think was like 2008, 2009.
Hangover. There's so many better comedies out there
but
than
I'm talking
Hangover.
about box office success. They were proper 6-7 digit, 100 million, 200 million at the box office. I'm talking box office smashes. And there are key reasons for this. Number one, you said it correctly, Naz, the risk factor. In the, call it woke, call it sensitive, call it whatever you like. But what a society considers funny now is very different to 25 years ago, for
True.
example, and also very inconsistent.
I agree with that.
Within a society, you'll have different groups, different cultures, different elements that will find different things funny. Next thing, too diverse.
Ooh.
The average population now is very diverse. So an American population today, just take America, is very different to 20, 30 years ago.
Yes.
Language, race, religion, culture. Very hard to find one comedy that hits every target, which is why James's point is very valid. Mr. Bean is a global phenomenon because he doesn't speak. So it's non-verbal.
That's true.
Any language, any culture, any creed, any background can watch Mr. Bean and watch him fall over and laugh. So that's the other thing. And that leads to my next point. Comedy films just don't travel. Action is action. A car smashes another car. It's a universal thing. That's why Fast and Furious can travel everywhere. A joke doesn't travel. There's cultural elements, there's language elements. A good example, I was looking up here, Will Ferrell's 2006 movie, Talladega Nights, which is about NASCAR.
What is that? I've not heard of that before.
NASCAR, massive box office success.
Right.
But nothing overseas, because what does the world care about NASCAR?
Yes.
Nothing, right? It's
F1 is more popular than
right,
NASCAR.
exactly.
Yes.
Mr. Bean works because it's all about the non-verbals.
Yes.
So very, very hard, Naz, for any comedy to be made today, which is why this weekend, I think the what's it called? The Tuesday Murder Club, the big movie coming out, the comedy movie,
Yes.
straight to Netflix.
Oh.
Today, most comedies, Adam Sandler,
Yes.
straight to Netflix.
I think Adam Sandler had a new movie, right? The one he made a sequel to an original comedy.
yeah, Happy Gilmore,
Exactly.
straight to Netflix.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy's movies, straight to Netflix.
But isn't it sad though? Like all these classics that we heard before, like Happy Gilmore, used to be a box office hit back in the cinema days, right?
Yeah.
But look at where they are now. They're going to streaming because, well, to be honest, there's a lot of reasons behind that.
Well,
in terms
comedy
of-
is too subjective.
Yes.
It's too diverse. The audience is too fragmented,
Yes.
which means comedy doesn't travel like the way an action movie travels or even a drama travels.
Yeah.
And you can't take those box office risks
Yes.
at a time when fewer people are going to the cinema.
That's right. But I would like to counter your point about there not being great comedies these days.
I never said that. I just
Yeah.
said they're not really made at the cinema anymore.
Oh, but there was one.
Okay.
In fact, recently that was doing really well. And surprisingly enough, this starred an actress that most people did not find hilarious, found her to be very robotic.
Okay.
Any guesses on who this actress was?
Robotic. No, go on.
This is a movie called No Hard Feelings, featuring Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, I remember that film. It didn't do very well, though, did it?
It did not do very well,
Yeah.
but they managed to break even.
Okay.
So this movie is the first movie in a long time since we saw an original comedy being shown in the cinemas. Because I caught it in the cinemas and it was pretty hilarious because this was a slapstick comedy. It was in fact about a lady in her late 20s who is getting paid to date a 19-year-old
I
or maybe an
remember it,
18-year-old. Yeah. So this was J-Law's first comedy movie. And I think the reason why it works, at least in her case, is because she's so used to being in those action films. I mean, look at Hunger Games.
Yep.
And then she was in X-Men, right, as Mystique. But then she tried to do something different in a comedy role, which she has never done before. So usually, and if you were to take up Liam Neeson's example as well, it always has to do with the fact that actors or actresses in this case who start in action films, then they turn over the other page and they become a completely different character. People are more inclined to watch that. Look at Leslie Nielsen. Didn't he used to be a serious actor?
Completely like
Exactly.
Liam Neeson, straight actor.
And then the Airplane. Was it Airplane or Soul Plane?
Airplane is
exactly.
superb.
In Airplane, and then he suddenly become a comedy goofy guy, right?
Airplane is one of my favourite comedies.
So the trick to a great comedy does not really rely on the humor or the jokes. It relies on who you are going to get to play the character.
Couldn't agree more. So what's your favourite comedy of all time?
My favorite comedy of all time
Yep.
is actually the ones by the Wayans brothers, White Chicks.
That's a terrible film. Okay. Mine is The Life of Brian. Have you ever seen Life of Brian?
Life of Brian sounds like a dog movie, bro.
It is a brilliant movie. It's a Monty Python classic. That's my number one movie. My second favourite comedy movie of all time is Talking Cock the movie, because I'm in it.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.